What else? What other data should I be looking at in order to build the model?
Well, that's basically why we still need people, because the people needs to understand which data is required and which data is not required, right? So you cannot push the AI to learn the full set of data, or with the time it will learn, but not at the very beginning. So it's like starting the first class. You need to bring the AI on the level to understand all the data coming and to sort it out, right? So there are different devices, of course. So depends on, again, as I said, you want to collect information about vibration, then you need a vibration IoT device, or you need to collect information about the humidity inside the room. So then you need another IoT device, because they have simple functions. Of course, you can combine this in a bigger device and have this all in one box, but it needs to be attached on a specific place. So that's why usually they split it according to the type of information they need to collect. You need to learn the AI to understand the data, and out of the it will start, collecting and learning and so on. So if you need to, just an example, if you need to build a model from pictures, how many pictures do you think you need to build this model? So if you say 200, 300, it's wrong. You need 5,000, 10,000, 100,000, so you need a lot of data in order for the model to be more precise and more precise. And that's why it requires so much power. And that's why it's expensive. But this is the future, right? So I think a lot of companies are now building ready models which you can use and we can use in different business cases. And as George mentioned already, one thing is the KPI that you have, and the other is the business problem that you want to solve.
Plant maintenance will help not only not stop production, but will actually help of recognizing early issues with the machines you are using. How well will be then plant maintenance implemented, included in AI, or is it a different tool that I need to think about when I digitalize my processes?
Well, you probably already have, the digital products, software products that will handle partially this kind of processes. Maybe you have a CRM system, or maybe you have a field service management system, but they are not so attached to the specific scenario. So of course you need consultants to understand, what kind of data you need to collect to push to these systems, and the system to understand what kind of data this is. Or of course, you need to get a more specific environment, which is basically building, this specific process. For the IoT, you need to know which IoT device the data comes from, right? So basically, you need to have the so-called installed base. Yeah? So you need to know exactly in which location, on which machine, on which device is this small IoT attached, and this is where the information comes from. So you need to digitalize first the whole production unit. So you need to understand how many machines, how many rooms, and so you build first this model, then you start collecting the information from the IoT devices and try to build the model for the AI to predict, right? So this simple explains what needs to be done. Of course, it has different scenarios. It's not just the manufacturing itself, right? So the AI is actually, the main power of AI is to empower the people working, with the tools, with the machines, and working for your organization. So empowering the people means that you give them the possibility to be faster, to be predictive, to bring the quality of service that is required from your organization and from your customers, for instance. So you can imagine we have, this digital installation, with all the locations, with all the machines and stuff. So you have a person who is responsible to service them, and the system will predict basically which machine will fail. So you need to change the oil, you need to change something else, right? You send the ticket, the guy gets the ticket on his mobile device and needs to react in the next several days. So he goes there, but okay, this is a new machine. I never changed the oil of this machine. And that will be the place where I can actually help further, because you have this virtual agent to help you understand how to change the oil of the machine, or what needs to be done. Is it only the oil? Do you need to change the filter together with the oil and stuff like that? And that's the system basically to empower the person to do the job in the right manner and the quality expected.
Do we speak about service level, first service level, or do we speak then about the whole servicing part? Because in most of the cases in some industries, we do see shortage of skilled labor. So how do we ensure that we can help there?
Well, maybe there will be robots quite soon that will do the job on the field site, and there are actually already robots that are doing this. But of course, to build the right knowledge, you need to have the knowledgeable people, the experienced people, the technical person that actually understand what must be done. The thing is, you don't need to lose the knowledge that is already within the organization, right? And that's the important part. So when you have the expertise within your organization, within your process, your business is unique, right? So every business is unique in a way how the owner and how the whole setup is done, So this uniqueness, you need to keep it inside your organization, because this is why you are successful. So if you want to keep this, you need to make sure that you teach AI to do exactly what you want, right? And not to hallucinate and do different stuff that actually is required.
Let's talk about another example where I think I need an AI, but actually it's not AI that I need. Maybe I need machine learning software. We spoke a little bit about the difference between what's machine learning and what's AI, but as a customer and yours my IT trusted partner,
Well,
how would I understand what's the right way to go?
well, let's say AI without machine learning is impossible. Yeah. So the AI needs to get the data from somewhere, needs to understand what kind of data it receives. But a very common case is where people think that automating processes you need AI, and this is wrong. So in many cases, you need just an RPA, robotic process automation, in the digital world.